Alright, that's what I'm going to talk about. HSD. Where HSD came from, the year, and the reason behind it. HSD stands for Hustle, Survive, or Die. What I'm going to start doing too, on all my vlogs, starting from now on, you're going to see with the logo, HSD. It has the wings on there. Underneath it, Hustle, Survive, or Die. Family organization. It's going to be stamped. Boom. Stamp. Anything I do that has that official stamp. Somewhere, damn, it's been a minute. Okay, so over like 10 years ago, I would say. I think the time that I was doing music, HSD was in the process. Was thinking of a name on how to start my label, on how to start just a brand for everything. So I'll put it like this: HSD is going to be a umbrella for everything. So if HSD would be the main idea of everything, right? Underneath that, so if you don't know what an umbrella is, you know, on a business, an umbrella is something that covers everything. So whatever you have a business of is going to be under that, you know. So HSD is the top, then it goes underneath. It could be HSD a music label, it could be HSD breeding, whatever you have under that main name, it falls under that HSD blank blank, you know. So HSD came about when I was doing music. I was with my cousin and I was trying to figure out a name on what to call this family, and basically start off as a label as well. You know, was the main first thing that it started off as. Was thinking of something. I don't know if it happened right on the spot or it took a few days or whatever it was, but I think it happened. I think it happened right on the spot within that day. But figured the name out. Hustle, because yes, we're always hustling. Survive. We gotta find a way to survive. You know, that's just a part of everybody's living, that you have to survive, especially growing up, you know, in a certain household, and parents are young, parents are street. You know, you growing up to an environment that you gotta figure a way for yourself, mentally and physically. You battling out of the war zone to make sure that you can make it safe. You know, not every place that I lived was lovely. You know, and that right there is survival. You have to survive in your surroundings. If not, you're gonna end up dead. You're gonna end up in jail. You're gonna end up, you know, being homeless. Whatever the case may be, you have to survive. So, you know, there's a big meaning behind survive. You know, the hustling just comes naturally. And then you got, you know, that harsh word, die. You know, you think about it, I think about it, it's harsh. Hustle, survive, or die. You can die any day. You gotta die behind what you believe in. Just felt like that was at the right moment, the right, you know, that was the right name. Now I would have probably made it something else. Who knows? But at the time, over 10 years ago, that's what it became. It didn't have no wings, it didn't have anything else but just HSD, and underneath was Hustle, Survive, or Die. Fast forward, like, let's say 7 years later, 8 years later, then that's when the logo came up with the logo and put those wings on the side. And then that's when it start coming more together as a family. It start getting recognized more as, okay, we are a family of, a family of HSD. We are a family of many businesses. So I have my dog label, HSD Top Breeds Cane Corso. Music label's still not there yet. At times we pause for certain things, and it's just not our time, my time to do what I'm supposed to do. So everything will come into place. When I envision something, I envision it to go far. I'm not trying to just have, something just sitting there and it doesn't get nowhere. I have to make it. I have to. If I don't, then where am I going to end up? Where are my children going to end up? Life, you have to be consistent. You may have something on the back burner and you waiting and you itching for it to come out, and but it takes time. It takes time for it to come. It'll get there. It's already there. We manifested it. It's there. But when it's just sitting there, marinating, and it's ready to come out, then that's the time that it'll be a beautiful thing. But HSD was created over 10 years ago. So when you see that logo, HSD logo, it stands for something. It stands for a lot. To me, it stands for family. It stands for respect. It stands for understanding. It stands for die for what you believe in. Because if you don't believe in what you stand for, then why are you even showing any action towards it? We have to live what we preach. And I've said this before to myself that, yeah, sometimes I fumble, sometimes I don't always go by certain things 100% all the way, because I'm only human and I'm only trying to figure things out, what's right for me, what's going to work in my way, in my favor. But I'm learning. I'm human. And the people that are really here with me and are really carrying on HSD and are really supporting me in the surroundings, it's a beautiful thing, because I know one day we are going to be up. We're going to be so up in it. It's going to be amazing. I guess I could share this. Something I really manifest is everybody at the dinner table, and I want one of them long dinner tables. I need a big mansion, big dining area. I want them long tables. You could fit about like 50 people, maybe even more. I just want my people on the table. We all feasting, all our children, just everybody having a good time. That's something I really manifest. Usually keep that to myself, but that's something that I usually manifest majority of the time. And I know it's gonna come, because I know people still got, their time that they need to take care of. I know we all have our lives, and soon we'll be all able to come together and make the best of it, and laugh at our past, and talk about our past, and share together, and create, as we are doing now. Some of us are doing that now. Life is a journey, and what we find, what we discover, we might be surprised, but we have to keep on stretching for what we desire. HSD. Sometimes I don't like the name because it's so harsh to me. Sometimes I feel like HSD is okay. It's a little too crazy, a little too ridiculous, but I know there's a meaning, and that meaning been carrying with me for a long time. So HSD pretty much stuck. And it's okay to doubt yourself. It's okay to rethink on, is this correct? Is this not? That's normal. That's how everybody functions. Not everybody's gonna admit it, but that's how everybody functions. And I'm just trying to make the best out of life. That's it. I'm not trying to harm nobody. I'm just trying to travel, show everybody I care. When my presence come, I want everybody to know I got the good energy, that I'm here. I love the people around me. The people around me mean so much to me. Not everybody, I bring up and say, their names or anything, but deep down inside, they know I love them. They know I will always be here. Anything goes down, I'm there in a minute. That day will come where everybody will be able to feast on this table. And I got a champagne bottle. It has boxing gloves on it, gold boxing gloves, black bottle. The person who makes it, he makes a limited edition, and he sometimes brings the same bottle out, is what I was told. But for this particular bottle, it is called the Knockout bottle. He has some association with boxing, and basically anything that he has associated with in his life, he puts that on his bottle, on some of these collections that he has. So I got this I say champagne? Wine. I meant wine if I said champagne. Excuse me. But this wine bottle has a gold knockout glove in the middle. 2 of them. I like it. I fell in love with it. And at the time my cousin was here, that's the time I went to go get it. We took a picture. Here it is. He held it. Still got the picture. And I told him, I'm not opening this bottle until I get a house. Once I get a house and everybody's on the table and we sitting down and we eating, that's the time that I'm gonna break it open. That bottle I bought 3, 4, I think it's been 5 years. I've been having that bottle for almost 5 years, 4 or 5 years now. So it's just aging. It's aging fine, and it's gonna taste good. It already says I can open it anytime now, but the time is not yet. Once the time comes and we all here, like I said, some of us won't be here, but they'll be with it. They'll be here with us in spirit on the table. But I really want to bust open that bottle and celebrate when the time comes. Sometimes it feels like someone's always sweating you or someone's always on you, poking. But don't let it get to you. Just be happy you're here. Just be happy you're living. You know, I'm learning now just to take things slowly. Let people be and sit back, rethink. You know, and try not to give nobody a hard time. You know, and those that know that I'm here, I'm here. I'm genuinely here. And when Kenny comes out, it's gonna be a good day. You know, I'm gonna be happy for him. I'm already happy for him on the things that he's doing and achieving. Right now, he's in LA in a prison camp, fighting the fires. You know, so every day he's pushing it. He's a big influence on me. Gives me motivation. Makes me feel that I'm proud to be a part of his journey. And he's like on the top. You know, the stories that he's telling me and everything, you know, on how people just drop like flies when they go into the fire camp and, you know, they don't make it. That's hard work. You're really in the field and trying to save somebody, trying to save the world. Not everybody can do it. Mentally and physically, being locked up at the same time and still trying to compete with your body. Sometimes your body won't take it. But he's been training, he's been working out, and I'm proud of him. You know, and he just told me that he was able to go to Jelly Roll's concert. I guess Jelly Roll talked to the sheriff and was able to get a lot of the inmates to go to the concert. I looked it up, I seen it. It's amazing. You know, for people to be able to care about another human being and let them be involved. You know, because at the end of the day, they're human. We're human. We're not bad people. Just because we do certain things and we make these mistakes, it doesn't mean we're bad people at all. You know, so for him to be that excited, you know, to give him that extra little push to be like, you know, that there's people out there who care. That's a wonderful thing. You know, so it's free Kenny. Make sure you show Kenny some love on here, and every time I post, now you know who I speak of. You know, and really two main people that I really push for right now, that I speak of. And don't get me wrong, I love everybody. You know, but the ones who are having it real tough right now, Kenny's locked up, and my cousin who passed away. Long live King Coca. My cousin meant a lot to me. You know, the time that we spent, the last days that we had, you know, something I'll never forget. We were rocking everywhere. The time that we shared and were able to have our moments together. He was crazy. He made it known. You know, and I loved him for being him. You know, everywhere he went, anywhere he brought himself to, he made his presence well known as far as a very lovable person, smiling even when he was in the courtroom, no matter what he went through, in the courtroom smiling, no matter what it was. Everybody around him could be all sad and mad. He's still smiling. You know, seen him at his worst, still smiling. You know, and that's someone that I always look up to as well. Being around my cousin was a great time. Places we went, things that we did. Man, it was a great journey with him. So when you see that logo, it'll be his face. On top, it'll be Long Live King Coca. And then on the bottom, it'll have HSD. But when you see that logo, that's him. That's Jonathan. You know, and the way that he passed away was very a very bad day. A day that created hatred, a day that created a monster inside me, a day that made me hate the world, a day that made me realize that humans are cowards. You know, to take a life, you know, from somebody and it could have been handled in a different way. The person who made that choice, you know, I hope they're suffering inside. I hope they suffer 1,000 times. The way my cousin passed, he was in the liquor store and it was the marshals, the feds. It only took one fed just to go inside and shoot him, and that was it. They didn't wait. They didn't wait for the backup. They didn't wait for, you know, everybody to go in and make sure, okay, let's just get him and that's it. No, they had a plan. They had a plan. They knew what they were doing, or that one person knew what they were doing. You know, I believe it's more to it. I just know I love my cousin. They didn't have to use those protocols and go about it that way. They could have found a better way. And I just recently posted something about, you know, I seen something out in Oakland and I just posted it and you know, and I said nobody in the comments, you know, that support cops. Someone said, "Oh, you anti okay, we get it. You anti-cop, but don't, you know, don't hold everybody responsible." But if you know your history on cops in general and of that field, you know that that badge symbolizes slavery. You know that badge has a meaning in the past history, and people who join that, they know the intentions. They know what they're getting themselves into. They know once they join that they're not even getting the right teachings they need from their program. Because when you get pulled over and you see all these videos that go viral, when you get pulled over, they don't even know the full length of the law. They don't know everything by the books. They get schooled by random people. They get schooled by people that are studying what they feel is right and are right and have facts. You know, so it's more to it than being an anti-cop and holding it against everybody. Hell yeah, you gotta hold it against everybody who joins something. If they join something, it's there for a reason, right? Why be a part of something and not be accountable and you know, rely on which you have become. You have became that, so you rely on that. You rely that, okay, this is what you're out there to do. Throughout history, that's what it is. You join something, that's how you're gonna go about it. Not by the books, because they don't go by the books. They go by, this is how you should do it. When you're in the middle of action, they don't just go with protocol, they go with their gut feeling. And sometimes it's okay to go with your gut feeling, but in certain situations, no, it's not cool. Especially when it comes to a life. You know, and that's why I'm anti-cop. Don't get me wrong. I understand people join it to try to do something good. But the meaning behind it of them joining to be a cop is something way deeper than that. So don't go join something and think that it's meant for something, because it's not, because you're not gonna change something. One person makes a difference, but they're not gonna change something that's already, what I'm trying to say is, they already move a certain way. Cops move a certain way. Majority of them are crooked, so they're gonna move their own way and abuse the system already. So you coming into something thinking, okay, you're making a difference, just know when you put on that badge and that suit, you know, you're being labeled like the majority of them, because it's not something for a good cause. Maybe things should be done differently, where something else gets situated and invested in, and it becomes better than that. But until that day, this is what it is. Hatred that's built up.